Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Savannah J. Goins, author of Young Adult Fantasy, and today I'm going to give you my 3 tips for how to write even when you don't feel like it. So have you ever been at work and just had all these writing ideas and wished you could be home with your computer on your own time to get them out? And you're just full of inspiration, and even on the drive home you're thinking of ideas, and then you walk in the door and suddenly you have absolutely no inspiration to write. You just don't feel like it at all. You're tired from work, your house is a mess, you just would rather sit on the couch and watch TV or take a nap than face having to try to be creative when you just don't feel like it. That happens to me all the time, and I'm going to give you my personal favorite tips on how to combat that. So tip number 1 is to stop waiting on the muse. Stop waiting to feel inspired. Inspiration is great when it hits and you can just write the night away and you're just full of words and ideas. That's fantastic when that happens, and I love when that happens, and you should always take advantage of that whenever it does. But the problem is it doesn't happen nearly as often as it would be nice for it to, and you need to be able to write even without those creative feelings. And it's totally possible to write without those feelings. You can totally do it. It's just you just don't feel like it. So something that you need to decide to do is decide that whether you feel like writing or not, you're going to. And tip number 2 that goes along with that is you need to treat writing like a professional. So if you're at your day job wishing you were writing and you're working with your coworkers and clients and whatever, and you have a client that has a problem that you need to deal with, can you just wait till you feel like dealing with it? No, not really. You kind of have to deal with it there. They're there, they have an appointment, you need to talk to them and take care of them while they're there because it's your job. And if, say, your manager gives you a project to work on, you can't really just wait around for 3 weeks until you feel like doing it or hope it goes away or something like that. You just have to work on it because that's your job. That's what you're expected to do, and that's what you have to do. So what you need to do is treat writing with the same level of respect and professionalism if you're taking writing seriously. If you want to pursue it as a career, even if you're just starting out but you want to go that direction, the only way you're going to accomplish anything is if you take it just as seriously as your day job. And what that means is you decide whether you feel inspired or not to sit down at the time that you have allotted yourself and write for that whole amount of time and get out whatever you can. You may not feel inspired, you may not get out, a bajillion words in that time, but you decide you're going to show up after work. You're going to write for an entire hour without stopping, and you're just going to do that whether you feel like it or not, because that is your job. And you're the only person who can discipline yourself that way, but the only way you're going to get anything done is if you decide to take it that seriously and just do it like that. And tip number 3 is to make an attainable goal for the moment. So say that you are being very disciplined, you're doing a great job, you've gotten home, you're tired, but you also don't feel like writing, but you're home and you are sitting at your computer, you have decided you're here, you're going to take it seriously, you're going to write all the words, but you don't know where to start. So if you're like me and have like 5,000 different projects going on, you have a blog post for your website, a blog post for another website, you have your book, you have this other side project you're working on, and you're just overwhelmed. You don't know where to start. So what I do in this situation is if I have something that's due that I have a deadline for, I will prioritize that above everything else, and I will start writing that and focus on that. But if I don't have a deadline that's really close for anything, this is a great opportunity to take advantage of doing whatever you feel like. So look at all the projects you have to do and pick whichever one you feel like. It's great when you can do that, so I take advantage of that whenever that works out. So you've picked a project to work on. Now where do you start with it? So something that really helps with this attainable goal thing is to pick a small thing, very small thing. So say you need to do some editing on this project you're working on, and you don't feel like editing and you don't want to edit, and editing's not your favorite thing anyway, but you have to do it. So start with 1 page. Just decide you're going to edit this 1 page. And if it takes you half an hour and it's grueling and horrible and you just hate yourself as a writer afterwards, maybe you just need to take a break after a while of working on it and then come back to it a little bit later. Or you may decide that you may realize after working on that 1 page that it only took 2 minutes, and then you think, gosh, how many pages could I get done in an hour if each one only takes 2 minutes? And because you set yourself that small goal of 1 page, you've realized you can actually do a lot more than you thought, and you have that momentum built up to work on. And so say that, for another example, say that you have a rough draft you're working on writing, and you have finished a scene, and now you need to decide what you're going to do next. So something that I will do in this situation is write a couple of lines about where the scene is going, where the characters need to be, the main thing that's going to happen, and then build off of those things. Instead of just trying to start with a dialogue or something, if I don't actually know where it's going to end up going the wrong direction. So I will start with a couple of lines, just summarizing what I'm going to do, and then build off of that. My favorite way to use this is at the end of a writing session to prepare for my next writing session. So if I've just finished a scene, I've gotten my few lines down for my next scene, then when I get up in the morning before I go to work, I have a few minutes to write. I know exactly what I'm going to do, so that helps save time, and it helps me do it even though I'm tired and I'd rather just flip through Instagram because it's too early in the morning. If I already have my goal set for the morning and I know that I have so much time to get it done, that really helps me focus and just do it. Okay, so a quick summary of everything was stop waiting on the muse, write, just decide that you're going to write, and think like a professional was number 2. Take it just as seriously and respect it just as much as your day job, and making an attainable small goal to start with and build off of is a great thing to do, and that will really help you get going. So if you liked these tips, please let me know in the comments. If you have any other tips that you'd like to share, please let me know. And I also have another video about how to make an outline that I will link to below in case you're interested in that. And I will see you guys next time.